media and the people, organized labor and civil society organizations. Issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party, and let me tell you, I've told the PDP in some locations that, gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Awolowo? Where's the party of Azikiwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join Okweyemi Akinyode and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
There is something missing in the world today. It's the one thing that can make the world okay. And it doesn't cost nothing, no, you don't even have to pay. Oh, oh. It's about doing the right thing every day. 'Cause you are the light, you are the sign, you are the only hope, keeping hope alive. Do the right thing, let the world see, let the light shine everywhere. And when it seems like no one's watching, do the right thing anyway. Just do the right thing all the time, and you'll be sure to have the whole world sing. Yeah. Oh, 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 do the right thing. Oh, hey, oh, do the right thing. If the right thing is the order of the day.
All right, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Mainland 98.3 FM. It is Midweek Politics. This should be about the third one for the year 2025. And, somebody said, oh, it looks like January is playing a fast one on the people even using the month of January. Today is the 15th day of the first month of year 2025. And it's my pleasure to have you join us on the show today. In case you're tuning in for the first time, this is one of those platforms where we allow you to have a conversation with us, and then it is pure political conversation beyond the regular of what you get to hear from your news outlet or from your newspapers or from your social media platforms. We take you beyond the surface. We try our best to bring in individuals that have massive interest in whatever story we choose to talk about on the show today. Well, it's always my pleasure. 120 minutes of a conversation beyond what you and I could pick up anywhere else, because we have all of the factors involved in every of the stories. I will put them on the table for you. Today, we're going to break the norm a bit. So we have two guests that will be joining us on the show today. And both of the guests have one or two things to do with two of the stories that we're picking on the show today. Well, Monday, the biggest of it all happened. And then a lot of people felt like, you know what happens if we have a change in Lagos, the leadership of Lagos? Why not? And let's see how it goes. Well, for the first time since 1999, Lagos House of Assembly have a female speaker, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda, emerged as the speaker after Honorable Said Femi of Irepodu Constituency 1 moved the motion under a motion of importance on the floor of the House for the removal of the speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa from Agege Constituency 1. He's been the Speaker of the House of Assembly for the past 10 years. He's been in the House of Assembly for about 25 years now, if I'm not mistaken. It should be about the oldest serving out of assembly member in any state house of assembly in Nigeria. Well, he got into the system while he was really young, I think about 24, 25 years old, and he's held it down all the way till he became speaker 10 years ago under the administration of former governor Mɪᴅ-ᴡᴇᴇ. Well, he did Mɪᴅ-ᴡᴇᴇ's first 4 years. I did the first 4 years of the current governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Now he's doing the second term with the governor, but things are falling apart and it looks like the center cannot hold. We'll play you the soundbite of Honorable Said Femi from Irepodu State Constituency 2 that moved the motion for the impeachment of the speaker, well, now the former speaker. We'll also play you the soundbite of Honorable Abiodun Tobun from Ekpe Constituency 1. Addressed the press immediately after that impeachment was done on Monday, citing why it became necessary for former Speaker Obasa to be removed as the speaker. We'll also play you the soundbite of the current Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda, after she paid a courtesy visit to the Governor's Advisory Council, after she was sworn in as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. So we've got a full package event for you on the show today. But before we get into all of that, Otuma Segun Shomi joins us on the show today via phone, and then we're going to be looking at the alternative, the opposition movement that is putting together ahead of the 2027 general elections. However, he's also been speaking about why the opposition party in Nigeria will need to come together and form a decent alliance. First off, they will also need to keep their house in order, mop up all of the internal wranglings that they have before they can provide credible alternative to the government in power. He joins us on the show today on the back of an interview that he had with one of the national dailies yesterday, as precisely Guardian newspaper that was published earlier today. So he's going to be joining us on the show, and of course we'll have that on the menu today. And along the line, we'll also look at issues that has to do with depending on where you stand. I know it's something that could spring up a little of some controversy right here, but trust me, I will find a way around all of those. So like I said, it's a bumper package on the show today. But first off, today is Armed Forces Remembrance Day, and then today we honor all of the fallen heroes, the brave soldiers that have put their lives on the line to continue to protect the integrity of this country, the sovereignty of this country against internal and external invaders. And we say we celebrate the dead, and of course we hope that the ones alive would continue to have the zeal to serve this country meritoriously, and then believing that when they're gone, whether in active service or after retirement, their memories and legacies will live forever. And more importantly, the government will need to do a lot more to make sure that we don't lose these soldiers unnecessarily. Look at what happened in Borno State on Monday. 40 people were crazily killed. I think that should be the best word I can put my head around. In Borno, one of the local government in there, and it just takes us back to the fact that we thought we were winning this battle. We thought we were already pushing the guys, out of the old setup and all of that. Then that happened. Well, His Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, visited the village yesterday, and as usual, donated thousands of bags of rice and millets to the affected victims, and promised that the attack will be thoroughly investigated, and then the perpetrators will be brought to book. But it's quite tough. 40 farmers in a country where we're struggling with food production, in a country where we're struggling with food crisis, in a country where we've constantly asked, what is the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security doing to make sure that we have food in surplus? Now we have 40 farmers rather, slaughtered in the most unimaginable way you can paint. Especially if you have to paint things from your mind. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite distasteful, to say the least. It's a new year. Everyone is just trying to settle in and to put themselves on the right frame of mind. And those let me be civil with the words I'll use for them, so that I don't run into trouble. But like I said, it's a bumper package on the show today. We have, instances where the chief of army stabbed, the chief of air stabbed. All of them had come out and said, hey, we're winning the battle, we're winning the war. The government is supplying everything. We're buying jets, we're buying weapons. And on the other side, you see former soldiers discharged from duty, abandoned duty, coming out to grant interviews to say, hey, nothing is going on over there. We're having, quality of weapons that cannot even stand what the invaders are having. Invaders have RPGs, they have bombs, they have AK-47s, and it's tough. When the government says we spend so billions of naira to, get weapons, and then the people on the active front are saying, no, this is not happening. One of my cousins got married in October, and we're having a conversation, and he said, he's a soldier, by the way, and when we're having that conversation, he told me some stuff, and I'm like, why do we read something different on the pages of the newspaper or interviews given by the government, and then when you speak to these people, it's a different story? There are stories of sabotage, there are stories of getting substandard or sub-quality equipment or weapons to fight. Imagine the people coming to you with AK-47 and you are going with bow and arrow. It's just how much I can paint the picture. And so each time I see that, people are killed, maybe villagers, maybe farmers, people were kidnapped. Yesterday, I read a story that one of the directors of one of the agencies in Rivers State and one expatriate, plunged their cars into the river because they were avoiding or they were trying to escape kidnappers. Sure. So, you read some of these stories and it just literally breaks every resolve you have about thinking that this country will work. We know it's going to work. We know we're making baby steps. However, we need to be intentional about fixing this country. My name is 광ᴜᴜ Akin. In case you're just joining us for the first time, I don't run this show alone. I would always have Said Fuad by my left and Victor Achibong by my right. But today, I would decide to excuse Said Fuad to take some deep breath and relax a bit. So Victor will be on the show, or he is already on the show, and then we have two guests that will be joining us in between. Like I said, Otomasegun Sowunmi, I was one of the PDP gubernatorial aspirants in 2023 election in Ogun State, and also now one of the PDP, leading PDP chairmanship aspirants ahead of the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party. He's been meeting with the SDP. We've seen him met with the leadership of the SDP alongside the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. He's already pushing for the agenda on the alternative platform. It's an opposition movement. There's a lot going on in that regards. But Victor, it's another Wednesday. And it's always my pleasure when we get to do this every single Wednesday. Last year, 53 straight Wednesday. We didn't miss a single one. And we're here again, the third for the year. And it looks like we're good to go.
Absolutely, Ōkpeyemi, we are good to go, and a very, very beautiful afternoon to everyone out there listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Victor Achibong, and like Ōkpeyemi rightly said, we always get to do this Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. And yes, truly speaking, today happens to be Armed Forces Remembrance Day. We are indeed honoring the fallen heroes, and but you said a lot of things there. I think I just have to start from the angle of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. The truth of the matter is that when you're fighting insecurity and you're trying to ensure that the people at the other side of the nation, they enjoy security, it is not just the responsibility of the armed forces alone. You need the people also to cooperate. And you see, like you did say on Monday, they did start the inhuman acts of some persons, attacking those farmers. Goes to show you that until the people living within the indigenes begin to report certain activities, there is little the security, outfit individuals can do. And when you don't cooperate with them, you are still exposing yourself to a lot of dangers. This is one of the things we keep saying, that when you don't come out to play your own parts, and every time you're complaining that the government is not doing enough, you only get this kind of results at the end of the day, and it is not right. This Nigeria belongs to every one of us. We cannot leave everything to the government alone. We cannot leave everything. Intelligence in terms of security is everybody's responsibility, just like when they say that safety starts with you. You don't need to wait for the policeman out there to come and give you some form of intelligence or information that will help you to secure you. He needs to wait for you to come and tell him. But when he's waiting and you're not telling him, you are leaving yourself to dangers. And this is what we are getting to see every now and then. So quite unfortunate that these families now are going to be in pain again. But another aspect of it that so many persons will be saying is how proactive is the government. Today we are celebrating and remembering them. The question is, the families they left behind, how okay are they? Are they living okay? Are they living fine? Is every one of them getting all the promises that have been made? Now, if these persons are getting the promises, I'm pretty sure they'll be happy. But I'm certain from one angle that not every one of them is getting it, because we know the activities or the attitude of some of these people in authority. Just like when you're paying pensions, or when you're supposed to pay pensions to pensioners, then you see pensioners coming to queue and begging for their own money they worked for, and they're telling them the money is not available, or network glitch and all of that. So all of these things are some things that we need to, put in order, correct it, so that everybody will enjoy in Nigeria. And also, when you talked about the drama within Lagos State, but it's quite interesting anyway. Drama. It's a whole lot, and we've been getting a lot of narratives from different people. I know it baffles me how persons will not say certain things, when they are supposed to say it. But the moment the big stick has been wheeled on anyone that it falls on, you begin to hear different things. But anyway, like you rightly said, I think we just needed to wait and listen to the insider, a senior legislative aide that is going to be talking to us as regards all of the activities that have happened until this very moment. But interestingly, GAC has come out to say that normalcy has returned to the Lagos State House of Assembly, which we believe is one of the things that the Lagos State government is looking to achieve.
Victor, Joseph Fᴜʟᴜ was on a situation room with me yesterday, and one of the things he said was that the Lagos State House of Assembly can, or is arguably the most peaceful, the most organized, the most coordinated House of Assembly in all of the 36 states in the country. And the ease at which the impeachment was carried out, there was almost no resistance to that. 32 out of 40 members actually gave the ayes for the impeachment after the honorable member that moved the motion for the impeachment, moved the motion. And it looks like it's just, maybe one or two persons that want to raise issues outside. The guys chanting mandates, whatever. Yeah. And, the security guys were on ground, pick them up. And at the end of the day, they dropped them maybe an hour or two later, and then they were already pledging their loyalty to the APC. So,
funny enough, persons were even saying that didn't look like an impeachment. That was a removal on their own.
Well, it's about nomenclature. Obasa has ceased to be the Speaker of the House of Assembly. Whether it's removal or it's impeachment or whatever it is, now we have a Madam Speaker, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda,
correct,
from Apapa Constituency 1. And now we also have Right Honorable Fatai Majid Adebola as the Deputy Speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly. The ease of transition, whatever happened in between is none of our concerns. The most important thing is that we report legislative activities.
Yes.
Whatever politics that happen in between, I think that's what our guest today, Mr. Hassan Bashiru, would be discussing with us when we get it. But we have line of insights, to usher us into that conversation. However,
yes,
let's pick one of the stories that we have today, and it's beginning from one of the chieftains of the People's Democratic Party, that's Otumba Segun Showumi. I gave an interview where he talked about the role of the present and past beneficiaries and the difficulties in opposition party emerging to challenge the ruling APC in 2027. Over the last few months, especially on the back of the off-cycle elections that we've had in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa in November 2023, and in Osun, in Ondo, and Edo in 2024, we'll have in Anambra in 2025. In 2026, we'll have in Osun and Ekiti. If you look at the line of performance of the opposition party, especially you look at maybe Labour Party, for instance, on the back of their performance at the last general election, where they had senators, reps members, assembly members,
and even
a governor. Thank you very much, Victor. But look at the performance in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa off-cycle gubernatorial elections. awful, really awful. The PDP picked Bayelsa. I mean, they retained Bayelsa. The APC kept Kogi State. They also retained Kogi and Imo.
True.
In the elections in Ondo and Edo,
Obviously. That of Ondo is obvious.
APC picked up Edo State from the PDP. They also retained Osun. They also retained Ondo State.
True.
That is 4 out of 5. There is the election this year. We don't know where the pendulum will swing.
Of course, we know it belongs to ABGA.
You can't put your money on that, Victor. It is election, and you never can tell what could happen.
No, I'm just saying that the states
at the moment
ruled
under the control of ABGA.
Exactly.
Yes. Next year, there's going to be election in Osun and Ekiti.
And you're talking
Osun
about
is under the PDP.
Yeah, exactly.
Ekiti is under the All Progressive Congress.
Interesting.
So, and that will be the election that will usher us into the 2027 general election. So, if you look at those line of, off-cycle elections, let me just say 3, 2, 2. That's about 7 states. There's a possibility that the APC could pick 5, right?
Yes.
And what that means is that APC would have 28 state governors going into the general election in 2027. And a lot of people are not this idea and fear of it. I hope we're not moving into a one-party state.
Okay.
I hope our democracy is not losing its balance. In 2019 election, we had over 70 political parties up for the election. In 2023, INEC deregistered, some of the parties dropped them. So we had only 18 going into the election. We don't know if INEC will still bring up more political parties as a build up to the 2027 election. But if you look at the 18 political parties that we have, how many House of Assembly members does Zenith Labour Party have, for instance? How many House of Rep members do we have that are on the ADC? How many senators do we have that are on the PPA or they are on the which other political parties now? We understand NNPP in Kano State. We understand Labour Party in Abuja, the Senate. It gives a lot of concerns. So we'd always ask that the opposition needs to play their role at the national level. You look at the opposition, Victor, at the state level, and you think, why not? Maybe at the state level, they're asking certain questions, but at the national level, where it became, really important for them to have a voice, where it has become a demand from the people, a silenced demand from the people, not because we were saying that anything, we're not against any party, we're just saying that the beauty of democracy, Victor, is for people to say, hey, Party ABC did not perform in the last 4 years. Let us look for Party DEF.
So,
do you understand what I'm trying to say, Victor?
If we follow the trajectory of what is currently going on in Nigeria, across the economic phase, we are seeing a lot of reforms taking place. Mr. President, the All Progressives Congress, bringing reforms to different areas, because according to the, administration, this current administration, it is the right thing to do. I mean, Nigeria is long overdue to have certain reforms. And now, talking about the opposition, I think I must really give it to Otumba Shomi for, bringing out that particular statement. It is indeed factual. You cannot regain power from the ruling party if you do not do certain things that are right. You don't put, you cross the T's and you dot the I's. And in doing it, it means there are certain significant steps that you must take. Okpayemi, we have said it here several times that what are the party ideologies of most of these political parties? You mentioned it yourself. That,
ideology.
You mentioned it yourself that, before this last election, we had over 80 political parties vying for political offices.
True.
Until INEC had to trim it down to just 18. Now, when you look at most of these parties remaining, the question is, what is the idea? And the idea, of course, you're looking at structures. What do you have in place? Now, a lot of these parties, if you go to SDP, you go to the Labour Party, you go to the PDP, they have leadership squabbles. Let's stay with the PDP, for example, now. We'll come to Labour Party as well. We know what is going on with the PDP. There is the Atiku faction, there is the Wike faction. Till tomorrow, they don't even know how to resolve
Nobody
this issue.
even knows which faction Dino Melaye belongs to.
So you begin to pick a lot, and these are prominent people. Okay, these are prominent people that, if only they can get their acts right, the opposition can be talking about something beautiful. But I don't know if it is ego or maybe for each of this individual, it is all about power, hunger, and all of that. The truth of the matter is that politics is beautiful, but it all depends on how you tend to play your own politics.
You know, build up to the 2015 general election, Victor. Like it or not, call it propaganda, call it whatever you choose to call it. The then AC, before it became ACN, before it became APC, were constantly on the faces of Nigerians. Lai Mohammed is speaking today. Tinubu, then Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is speaking today. Malam Nasir El-Rufai is speaking today. Shehu Sani is speaking today. Everybody speaks, and then it kind of make the decision of anybody but Jonathan easy for some Nigerians in 2015 election. And that was the first time we had a sitting president lost an election, a democratically elected election in the history of our democracy. I mean, whether the lies or propaganda, whatever English you choose to call it, Nigerians felt like there was an opposition. Nigerians felt like somebody was talking. If you listen to Alhaji Lai Mohammed speak, you might decide to not take to what he has just said. You might decide to misinterpret it, however way you choose to interpret it. But people were talking. The only time you probably see Honorable Debo Logun-Agba, the National Public Secretary of the PDP now, speaking is if there are issues in the party, if the people are maybe a party escort, someone is suspended, or even when he gets suspended, the opposition are not exactly speaking true to government. They are not exactly speaking true to what Nigerians want to hear.
It was much easier then because that was what Nigerians wanted to hear.
That's the idea.
And they sold the change.
As the opposition,
the change narrative to them.
Yes, you should sell the
and
narrative
Nigerians
to the
bought
people.
it. Because Nigerians wanted change in governance. They wanted change in the standard of living, in the cost of living. Every facet of life, across Nigeria at that point in time, we needed anything but the power or the administration that was in power at that period. So you've said it all, that if the opposition is indeed, going to act like the opposition, then they should be able to sell the right thing. But when you look at what all of these parties are bringing to the table right now, the Labour Party is in confusion. The PDP, they don't even know their direction. NMPP, they still have theirs that they are squad.
And that's why the fact that they have one state. And there's issue every time.
They are struggling on daily basis.
Commissioners remove SSG.
I mean, it's having issue with this person. And how do you sell your narrative? The AC that you mentioned as that period, everyone in Nigeria, for so long as you love politics that period, saw them as a formidable force.
True.
That has focus and direction. They knew where they were going. Where they were going. So by the time they came with that changed narrative, it was virtually what Nigerians needed at that particular point in time, and it worked for them. But by the time they got into power,
it became another problem.
But let me just pause here because I think it's almost 2:30.
Yes, we'll link up with Otumba Segun Show with me now, and he's going to lead us into that conversation. Like I said, he's the convener of the alternative movement. He's also one of the leading national chairmanship aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. A former gubernatorial aspirant on the platform of the same party in Ogun State for the 2023 governorship election. So he joins us on the show today to help us understand some of the issues and why Nigerians may need to do more or demand more from the opposition if truly our democracy will make any form of progress whatsoever. And I'm looking forward to the conversation, and like I said, also we'll have a senior legislative aide from the National Assembly join us on the turn of 2 o'clock to look at the issues around the removal of the former speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. But let's take a very quick break. Otumba Segun Show is already on the phone with us, and when we come back in a few seconds rather, I will get straight up into the conversation. It is Midweek Politics, live from Mainland 98.3 FM, and of course my name is Okoyemi Akinde, and there's also Victor Achibong in the house. Let's take a very quick break. Otumba Segun Show stays on the line, and I will bring him on immediately. Stay with us.
It's easy to bring normalcy and redecorate. It's more difficult.
The General elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party. And let me tell you, I've told the PDP in some locations that, gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Aʀᴏᴜᴡ? Where's the party of Azikiwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true to
Join
their own
Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
Thank you very much and welcome back. Let's bring up our guest. Good afternoon, Otumba Segun Show with me. Welcome to Mainland.
Me and the crew. Good afternoon. Happy New Year, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're very well. Happy New Year and good to have you join us on the show today.
You're welcome, Otumba. Happy New Year to you too.
Well, I also have Victor co-hosting the show with me.
Otumba, you're welcome.
Victor, my man. Are you good?
I'm very good. I like the sound of your voice.
I mean, you need to know. See, Otumba Show with me is a very jiggy, happy man. I've seen him relate with the young, with the old. I've seen him socialize. I've seen him in a lot of places. And
somehow is a Gen Z.
He's a mix of both worlds. He's a Gen everywhere, every alphabet. So let's get straight up into the conversation. Otumba Segun Show. You granted an interview to one of the national dailies, and one of the things that caught my interest in that interview is the fact that you acknowledge that even the beneficiaries of the opposition party Nigeria have turned against the party. Lead us into that conversation from there.
Well, I want to say they've turned against the party. I would rather say they have displayed the weakness of their character. Political parties are supposed to be nurtured, and the best people to stand for a political party, to cover for a political party, are those that have benefited the most from that party. When you now see them lukewarm, sometimes uninterested in the party, sometimes even becoming enemies and opponents of the party, you don't blame the party, you blame the weakness of their character. For if they stood for something, they ought to know that parties don't nurture themselves, parties don't fund themselves, parties don't reform themselves, parties don't reorganize themselves. So rather than blame the party, I rather blame it on the weakness of their character and the opportunity that the Nigerian nation gives them by allowing people to not have consequences of their previous activities. So anyhow you find it, yes, I did say it's unfortunate that those who have benefited the most from the party are not pulling their weight on behalf of the party. And that's the truth. I don't need to list them. You don't need to start from 1999 and take a look at them all. Either as president, ministers, senators, governors, and what have you. You just look at you, just clap and say, wow, if only we had 6 men. But alas, one generation will make mistake. By the grace of God Almighty, another generation will correct it.
Thank you very much for leading that conversation. Now, we've had some, seamless transition in our political journey. Or let me limit it from 1999 till now. We've had the PDP held sway for 16 years. Now we have the All Progressive Congress from 2015 to 2025, where we are right now, 10 years on that saddle. And it's been a mix of a whole lot. A lot of people have also said, it's just been a case of two twin. A lot of people that when the PDP have now come to the APC, this and that. For the 2027 election, you've been very vocal. We're going to talk about the alternative very soon. But how much do you think the opposition party need to put their house in order not just the PDP. You look at the Labour Party as well. You look at the NNPP in Kano as well. The issue between Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso and the governor of the state. I mean, how much more do you think the opposition need to give in terms of, if at all, they want to wrestle power from the ruling party in 2027?
Okay, thank you. The power that they may wish to rescue or wrestle from the ruling party, as you have put it, is not theirs to wrestle. The powers, the suffrage, the opportunity of victory or otherwise rests with the electorate. The political party, never mind how they are fumbling, they will produce candidates. When they do produce candidates, they will be on the ballot. When they get onto the ballot, the INEC will be ready at the polling unit. Once you step forward and you make your choice, that's the choice of the Nigerian people. Sometimes it is very hard. You are the media and the entire society and the narrative space is hard on opposition. Because at least you can see that they are attempting to be democratic. What is the APC as a political party doing that is giving you reason to be happy with them? Forget the president and the presidency for a minute and just compare party to party. At least you are hearing people, they are saying they are going to call, they are struggling, they are doing Congress, they are doing all this. What are they doing? Is it realistic that political parties will not have contested of interest? So in that context, when they were going to do election in Edo, PDP produced a good candidate in Aswa Egodalo. APC produced what they could produce. That Edo people allow themselves to be rigged out of the quality delivery and service that you know Aswa will mean is their loss. The parties don't have all the powers to prevent people from selling their votes. The parties don't have the power to prevent citizens of the state from rigging against themselves. The only thing the parties can do is maybe lick his wound for not being able to form government. But in the end, the citizens are going to get the government they choose for themselves. So it's not always a question of saying the PDP is this, the APC is this, the NMP is this. You are listening to all the graduates, you are listening to me, you are listening to them. You have to be able to decipher and make up your mind which of them you draw. And really, there is nothing wrong if your decision is that you are happy with the reform agenda of the president. The most important thing that I have is screening is that for it to be democracy, we have to make sure we stabilize all the parties. And if we cannot stabilize all of them at the same time, at least we must stabilize the one that appears like the main opposition. And in that context, nobody can stabilize them for themselves on the inside. Because even when you say they are bribing them, interfering with them, appointing them, even if from the villa, every man that has been removed can be replaced by a better man. Because that man that you are even saying you miss too much, it was the same party that gave him the platform to be everything.
True.
So I think that for the electorate and for the Nigerian people, for our sanity and for the quality of our development, all of us must get more involved. That's why I started the alternative. Let's start talking about this thing in a different way. Let's start reviewing it in a different way. Let's start being the leaders we are looking for. Let's start being the reason that our country is great. Let's start engaging ourselves less tribally. Let's start engaging ourselves in the manner that we are for the best of our country. Let's believe in ourselves. Let's accept that we are the most popular, greatest black nation on earth. Our job is not to hate our leaders needlessly. We should criticize them, and I do criticize them. But we should also commend if we see something to commend. We must not allow our country to be made to become a tribal place where the only conversation on the table will be tribalism. I think it's a good idea, and I expect you all to support me in your little ways. At least support yourself. Let us all join together to start insisting, not in this country. If anybody makes a false allegation, ask him to substantiate it. If it cannot substantiate it, call it something and say, no, you are wrong. That's the work of the media. You are not to be their partners clapping for them, but at the same time, you are not supposed to use your platform for the propagation of hate, anger, and destabilization.
All right, Otumba, thank you very much. And I really want to appreciate you for your responses so far. Earlier on, you talked about the weakness of the character. And you also said that when it has to do with wrestling powers with the ruling party, it is a responsibility of the electorates.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the opposition, Otumba, there is something that we have seen that is very common across the parties in the opposition, and that is a tussle for power. Leaders are looking for who would be the true leader, and that becomes a problem. So connecting this with electorates who have to wake up and see the reality that we need to take power back, and doing it, we need to walk or go with the opposition that have a leader. How do you place this, knowing that most oppositions, as we speak today, do not truly have a leader representing the parties?
Okay, thank you very much. In the first instance, it is not even expected that the political party will have one leader. It is an overhang of our military, jack boots, high general this, high general that. A political party is supposed to be a contestation of interest of many people. And in trying to be that way, you are supposed to watch them with their rules and regulations. Ideally, the NWC of the political party, whoever is there, you can notice, but you also know that over the last couple of 22 years, to 2023, that we've been talking about this issue, they have not but produced candidates where they needed to. They produced a candidate in Kogi, they produced in Imo, they produced in Bayelsa, they produced in Ondo, they produced in Edo. So each of these responsibilities were carried out. And when it then became blow the whistle, they campaigned the best they could. It was now the responsibility of the electorate to vote for who they want. Except the electorate are saying that they are happy with everything that the ruling party is doing. It is also possible. There's an assumption that has a possibility. But if they are happy, then they should stop complaining. You can't give me the opportunity to change leaders, and you'll be reinforcing failure. Only to come around and start saying the political parties do not do what the political parties should do. Our duty is to produce candidates within the framework of the rules and the regulation of INE and the concern of the country. Your duty as electorate is to decide who you like, and whoever you like, you should give him some patience. If the decision was you voted for Mɪᴅ-ᴡᴇᴇᴏ of APC, never mind that I'm the PDP, I charge you to give him the opportunity to work. Because if we don't do it like that, we're going to have a situation where we're going to make anybody problem in our country feel very uncomfortable. And when you make your leaders exceedingly sad, they will not be able to give you the best. When you take it easy for them to beat. I don't mean don't criticize them because you misunderstand me. But we cannot be saying our country is bad, our country is bad, our country is bad every time, all the time, throughout the year, 365 days a year, for 4 years, non-stop. For how long and to what purpose and to what advantage? Enough. We don't need to be looking at the issues. We need to be discussing the issues. We need to be planning on the issues. We need to be saying what kind of country if we want to engage government, we should engage government on policy. We should engage government on ideas. We should never allow anybody to tribalize the conversation, and we should not allow government itself to be bigotry, which is appointment.
Otumba, I appreciate the fact that you did mention the NWC, ensuring that at the end of the day, every political party, works the way it is supposed to operate. And we've seen situations where even the NWC itself, to an extent, have been stretched by certain individuals, and it make it look as if their job is not even showing. But we come down to the aspect of ideology now, Otumba. You talked about ideas, and we know how important it is for ideas to run a political party. And as it stands this moment, from what we have seen so far, and then going by the numbers, it appears as if the all-ruling party seems to be the only party in the country with certain ideas on how to win more states and take control of all the states in Nigeria. So now bringing the conversation to the area of ideologies, how significant is political ideology for each party to help in running the activities, most especially to your party members? Because we understand that some party members do not even know what the ideas of a particular party they have joined is. And that is a huge problem.
All right, let me now help you with that. Thank you for that. As a matter of fact, the only ideology that they are running in the country today, even the APC itself, is the PDP ideology. Let me explain. Let me educate you.
I saw that coming. I am
curious.
Let me educate you.
Please, go ahead, sir.
Ideally, they are supposed to be a left of center party, which will be government, free education, and all of that. And we have always been a right of center party, which will be private sector partnership and all of that. So what happened was that they did not stay on their ideological position. Right now, they have become so center that you can't even find anything progressive in them. Rather than invest in education, they are telling people to come and take a loan. Rather than invest in hospital, they are telling people to come and, go and do private sector. Everything that they are supposed to be trying to give the society based on their left of center ideology, they have run to the center, and they are now basically shifting the space where we are. And we say clearly that, well, that's okay, that's my position. It is now the duty of the PDP to now find an ideological differentiation for its own self, since they themselves have not even been disciplined enough to grow the party in an organic manner. Almost everybody that was bad in PDP is in their party and smelling like angels. That's not our fault. That's their fault. They practically look for stars that we will find. We will nurture the stars. We will sharpen the stars. We will empower the stars. And they will just sit there in one corner and be kind of ensnaring people's players. Where do they see that kind of style in the world? Did they see leaders in other parties jumping from their party to go and join the ruling party? But they are doing that, and because now the whole thing has become so muffed that nobody can even tell who represents what and what represents what, we are now at the position where we are all now generally just running the same ideology, and it's looking almost like the same thing. So eventually, I believe that we will have to find another way to differentiate Paul from Silas. For the Bible says, Peter I know, Paul I know.
Okay.
Who are thou?
Let's talk about the alternative. I've been seeing a lot of things that you've been doing, meetings and consultations. Very recently, you alongside the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, had a meeting with the chairman of the SDP. I mean, you've constantly talked about why voices will need to continue to go up, and a lot of credit needs to go to you and a lot of other people for constantly asking the questions. What exactly is the alternative about, and what do you intend to do with the alternative?
Well, the idea of the alternative came from the desire to ensure that let's go. The idea of the alternative came from the idea that there's a need for us to re-engage ourselves again. Re-engage ourselves. What kind of democracy are we running? And what is the basis? Should we have 93 million registered voters and only 34 million will be participating in elections? Should we have 80-something million collected PVC and only 28 million plus will be voting in the president? Where are the others on election day? Are they that irresponsible? Now, to be able to change it, should every vote be paid for? Or is it that unless we can find money to buy people, we cannot have democracy in our country? Do people abandon participation in the democratic process and they expecting charlatans to design the future for them? These are the kind of things that we are dealing with. And in that process, should political parties themselves refuse to reform? Alternative is not about one party, for everybody, even for everything. It is for us to have a conversation. Are we going to be saying that our country is bad all the time, all year round? Or are we going to become a country that will not even agree that we are all brothers and sisters in one country because of the accident of being born in one family? or in one tribe. So these are the kinds of low-key ideas that the alternative is coming up with. And in the process, of course, we are going to have to discuss, is the opposition not going to get themselves ready for the next election? Or how do they want to get themselves ready if members of the public, their customers, are seeing them as though they don't even want to reform? You can't be pretending that you can stay on the same spot and achieve anything, not them as an individual, but we need to inspire them as a collective. It is silly to expect that one man can solve the problem of the nation of 450 million people. So, in that regard, we have to see me, I've been going around, I've been begging people, I've been speaking to them, I've been encouraging them, I've been trying to let them understand that the only way is for all of us to be more intentional. Stop sweeping the floor from where you are standing. It is your responsibility to educate and inspire your other ones around you. Those of you that are educated and informed, think to your others. Are you going to be complaining forever, or are you going to abandon the country only to the rogues who will now come tomorrow again and say that their sons and their daughters are the ones that will be the leaders of the country that only made them? If they are not concerned, I am concerned. And it is for that purpose that we are talking. And as for that meeting, it is just to bring all of us together to review the country, to try to talk to ourselves, to use iron to sharpen iron, possibly to collaborate. But like I always tell people, I will not join human beings to do it. If it is only about their anger, their hatred, or because they lost position, that's why they announce that we must constantly improve it, we must constantly renew it. And I've said to the people everywhere we've gone, oh, people, we are giving you leaders, you don't seem to be happy. Okay, bring on the leaders you want, and let us go and market those ones. Those are the kinds of ideals that we're talking about.
Okay, it's an amazing having this conversation with you, but I think our viewer has got like 30 seconds question.
Yes, I quickly want to react to what you said, that the ideology of the PDP is what the APC is using, and if the PDP was to ideology.
What happens is that, when you are copying somebody's work, you will not be able to execute it properly.
Okay, that's it.
We were the first to bring our manifesto, and we are the one who have been talking about restructuring and all these issues around resource control and all the issues around removal of subsidy. But what we did not give them was the blueprint of how we were going to do it. So they just copied it and said, oh, yes, I have the big agbada, and now they are stumbling all over the place and making it worse. If we are giving them the blueprint, they would have seen that we are not going to do subsidy without a commensurate conversation with the critical stakeholder to predetermine where the subsidy money will go and how we're going to do it in phases. But, we cannot be plugging a dead horse. They are the ones in charge of the country. We have to wish them to be successful. Because when they are successful for us all. We can't be paying people so much about money. They can't be living large and fat, and then we don't want them to do the work. So we have to stop hating them. The date to decide their fate is the next election date. But between now and the next election date, we might as well let them do the job. We don't need to destroy things in our country. We don't need to make ourselves hate each other. We don't even need to make everybody in the world be looking at our country with kind of funny look because we're just not being reasonable. Whatever it is that they are doing, we are watching. You all are keeping record. On the day you are called upon to come and vote, just go and vote according to how your life has been under them. If your life is good under them, vote for them. If it is not good under them, then vote them out.
Thank you very much, Otumba Segun Sowunmi, for being a part of the conversation. Are we looking forward to any merger whatsoever between your movement, the alternative, and of course, I know you are still a member of the PDP. Do you have an idea, or let me take an exclusive from you? Is PDP thinking of having any merger whatsoever?
No, I think that what I can say for them is that whether we like it or not, some kind of conversation has to happen as to how they want to go about the next election. I am more concerned as to how they are, if I'm more reformed party, that they can be available and sustainable for a long time. You can win election today, lose election tomorrow, that doesn't matter. What is important is that you must be reforming yourself. And they can take a cue from the Conservative Party in UK. They've lost the election, but they've thrown up Kemi Badeno, our daughter. And can't you see the amount of energy she's bringing in? You can't be sitting down with giants that have clay foot, no capacity for a purge, no intellectual service to be able to have conversation, no light-footed argumentative style, no capacity to take the fight to the opponent, lack of conviction.
Hello.
I am the alternative you are looking for. The party. I hope they agree. But if they don't, of course, no human being will allow himself to sit down with a child that is dead.
I will pick from your lines, but we'll close this conversation here. I will continue again. Thank you so much. Otumba Show is a PDP chieftain and the convener of the alternative, and of course, one-time gubernatorial aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party for the Ogun State gubernatorial election in 2023. Thank you for finding time to be with us on the show today. Stay safe. We'll continue the conversation some other time.
Have a fantastic year. I wish all Nigerians, all our listeners the best. Be the best version of the Nigerian you can be, and be the reason why our country is great.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with us on the show today. That was Otumba Show with me, the one-time People's Democratic Party gubernatorial aspirant for the Ogun State election in 2023, and of course a leading chairmanship aspirant for the PDP, and also the convener of the alternative. He said a lot, and at the end of the day, he said he is the alternative that the PDP are looking for. We'll keep our fingers crossed. I mean, I will always hear, even between the lines. You know, there are times that you hear what somebody did not say from what he has said, and it makes it quite easier.
Glitch, maybe
no, I heard. Don't worry, my head did not glitch the glitch. I mean, that was about it. We just had to bring Otumba Show me up on the conversation because of the interview you had that was published earlier today. And of course, we reached out to him, and he joined us quickly on the show. A very interesting 30 minutes or thereabout. We'll move on to the next conversation, but this is Midweek Politics, and it's live on Mainland 98.3 FM. In case you're just tuning in, this is the first time you're joining the show. We'll always come up every Wednesday, 120 straight minutes of conversation, of hardcore political conversation, from 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday. And this is not the only platform where we get to have conversations of politics and current affairs. We'll always start from Sunday night from 6 to 8 p.m. on Political Roundtable. We'll always come to the Situation Room as well, 4 to 5:30 every Monday to Friday. And then we have Midweek Politics, and we have Voices from the Top from 7 to 8 p.m. every Friday night. So we've got all encompassing for you to keep the conversation going. I have Victor Achibong with me in the studio co-hosting, and my name is Okoyemi Akinde. I was streaming live on all our social media platforms, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM, on Instagram Mainland FM, on YouTube Mainland 983. You can also search us out on Radio Garden Mainland 98.3 FM. We don't get to disappoint you because we are always here with you. Welcome back. Let's switch off to the next conversation. I was going to be spending maybe the next 20-30 minutes as well to discuss the impeachment of the former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. During the last general election, the team assigned to cover the senatorial district that Obasa is from, I mean, I was on that team. So myself, just Conley Daniels, and I think 2 other people, we went to Agege, where we went to cover the polling unit of Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. And I'll tell you for a fact, the court-like hero he enjoys in his constituency is almost second to none. You needed to see the crowd in his house. you saw. I had to ask my friend, like, wait, is this a police division? How come we have so many policemen here? And it was a carnival. I mean, voting was going on in the 2 polling unit station, just about 300 meters away from each other. People were voting. People were just chilled. Music was going on. It was a carnival. And I just told myself, hey, this is a man that had been in the house since the inception of this stretch of republic. The youngest, 25. He's been there for 25 years. He's been speaker for 10 years. I mean, he's amassed so much political power. I don't know about the resources part of it, but you can't be speaker of Lagos House of Assembly. That is arguably the biggest House of Assembly in this country by all standard. Maybe not exactly by the numbers, but I'm talking about, of course, Lagos politics. More so, the House of Assembly that is the constituency of the president. It is really key, and the politics can be a bit complicated. Victor, I mean, I'm sure you've monitored that conversation, calls, messages on our shows. What kind of fresh air do you think the new speaker, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda, would bring to our legislative leadership in Lagos?
Well, first, let me say that Mudashiru, indeed, the former speaker himself was a political gladiator.
You can't deny that.
So when you said that the number of policemen and the crowd that gathered in front of his house during the election, I mean, it just goes to show that this is someone, like they will say with street parlance, na big fish in be.
Na big fish.
Yeah. Immediately after the impeachment, you saw a gathering of other, members of the House of Assembly right there, and they all said that there was a need for restructuring.
Mm-hmm.
There was a need for a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
It was only important for them to just tweak politics a little, tweak governance a little. And I think right now it's for the fact that we're having the first woman as a speaker in Lagos State, it says a lot. And what she's going to be bringing to the table, I want to strongly believe still will resonate and will be in line with what the Lagos State government has in plan. So I don't see her doing anything totally different for what they want to do, and which is ensuring that the mandates from start to finish is well executed, the people get good governance, represent the people, the constituents, every single one, the best way that it can or she can. So if you now say she wants to do anything differently, this is me saying now, you know how it plays out eventually. It mustn't play out. There's a script, follow the script, and which is ensure that at the end of the day, we get the very best from Lagos State. You've said it here time without number. Arguably, this is the best that Lagos has given any other states. Most times we want to come and learn from Lagos State.
Yes.
So when you're talking about politics, from the House of Assembly, Lagos State is stable, is consistent, and is thriving. So why do you want to change what is consistent, what is thriving, what is successful?
They said if it's not broken,
if it is not broken, don't fix it.
Well, Victor, I'm sure a lot of people will call when we open the phone lines and they will disagree with what you just said about the issue of consistency. There's always going to be the question of godfatherism, the question of absolutism. And somebody even said on the show yesterday that it looks like Lagos is gradually becoming a monarchical system of government where, somebody stays here and decides who gets what, when, and how it works. Well, so I don't know about that, really.
I only have to respond to the question you asked.
Yes, exactly. I know.
What she brings to the table.
I'm just saying that people might come and disagree with you.
The other area, the other aspect.
You need to go on Facebook and read the messages.
It's on social media spaces everywhere.
Well, we have guests, but when we have conversation, the interview we gave, and everything has even higher legislative positioning, so it's in the best place to have this conversation. We've had people talk about it from the PDP part. We've had regular analysts talk about the impeachment of Honorable Basa. We've also had members of the APC come talk about. So we have a senior legislative aide at the National Assembly in Abuja joining us on the show today, Mr. Hassan Bashir Oluwakemi. But before we bring him on, we're going to play you some line of inserts. The first is going to be Honorable Said Femi, Irepodu State Constituency 1. He was the one that moved the motion on that matter of importance and raised the motion for the removal of Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa on Monday, the 13th of January 2025 at the floor of the Lagos State House of Assembly. After then, I would also play you the voice of Honorable Abiodun Tobon from Ekpe Constituency 1. I addressed the press immediately after the impeachment was carried out, and of course announcing the swearing and then confirming the appointment of Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda as the new speaker. We'd also hear the voice of the speech of the impeached speaker.
Oh yes.
One of the many speeches that seems to, maybe in quotes now, broke the camel's back.
The speech that broke the camel's back.
We'll also play that for you. And after that, we'll play the voice of the new speaker, the Madam Speaker of Lagos, the first female speaker that the Center of Excellence would produce, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda. She would also have a say upon her visit to the Governor's Advisory Council. We have so much to play for you on the show today. But let me bring my guest, actually. Let me introduce him, then he would also listen to all of the sound bites. Mr. Hassan Bashiru, good afternoon. Welcome to Lagos and welcome to the Situation Room. Midweek Politics. Apologies.
Politics.
Good afternoon. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. There's also Victor in the house. Victor, say hi to our guest.
Yes, good afternoon. Let me just call you Bashegzi. Good afternoon, you Bashegzi.
That's the one I was waiting for.
Yeah, good to be here as well. Good to be here.
Okay.
It can only get better.
Absolutely. So I'm honored to all of the questions we are going to ask you for the next 20 minutes. So please just stay on the line for us if you don't mind.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you very much. So let's go on this one. I will start off with the speech of the impeached speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. I think we should start from there. The final speech, there a lot of people assumed that this was what broke the camel's back.
Yes.
And after the speech, we'll play you the voice of Honorable Said Femi that moved for the motion of the impeachment. Then we'll play you the voice of Honorable Abiodun Tobun that announced the impeachment. Then we'll play you the voice of Honorable Speaker Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda. So we'll come back and our guests will get straight up into the conversation. Stay with us.
Here is easy. To bring normalcy and redecorate is more difficult.
General elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party. And let me tell you, I've told the PDP in some locations that gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Olowo? Where's the party of Azikwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join Mɪᴅ-ᴡᴇᴇᴜ and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
We have to embark on the mission to the blackmailers who have to embark on the mission to distort and redefine our mission. Let me state it unequivocally here. Our intention is to promote our party on the platform of mandate. Also, becoming governor is secondary. It is something that I have not given a serious consideration. Nevertheless, that does not mean I am too young or lack experience to run, whereas those who have been before me are not better off. In addition, it is also important to correct the impression from naysayers who have been insinuating that I may payment to seek for blood relation in Ojo to validate my candidacy to run as governor. Of course, I have never denied the fact that I am Obasa, but rather I've never claimed to be related to Odikoyi, Oniru, or any popular Lagos family, as the case may be. I can indeed never run from the fact that I'm related to my Obasa family in Ojo, but I do not need local validity to contest or run. If eventually I am contesting, I will do so from Agege. Nonetheless, we want to thank Mr. Governor for the good job he's doing constitutionally. By presenting the budget, you can rest assured that this House will also respect this constitutional right to address the budget and get back to you. Distinguished guests, as we hope that 2025 budget will be of great benefit to the people of Lagos State, we, however, appeal to Mr. Governor and Lagosians to give us sufficient time to enable the House to do thorough job on financial document that has great influence on the lives of the people. The Assembly will not delay the passage of the budget, but we will be interested in placing high premium on the need to ensure the interests of Lagosians are protected socio-economically and politically. We are your representatives here at the House of Assembly, and we are duty bound to do justice to every sector of the state's economy. At the same time, I want to thank my colleagues for standing on the side of the people at all times. I appreciate your efforts. I cherish your support, which has always been an inspiration and source of strength for me. I commend your courage and perseverance. We will remain united, focused, and determined until our expectations are realized. My sincere commendation also goes to the clerk of the House and entire staff management for performing their responsibilities with sense of patriotism and loyalty. I thank everybody here in this Alu Chamber and all Lagosians for your support and resilience. And we will appreciate the fact that you are not giving up on us. We will not let you down. We will take you.
A C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. I hereby move that the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, be removed as Speaker of this House of Assembly for the following reasons. 1. Gross misconduct and poor leadership, including contextual weakness to legislative sections and meetings. 2. High-handedness and lack of regard for honorable member at all times, intimidation and suppression of members, including inciting members against one another. 3. Financial incompetence, misappropriation of funds and lack of transparency in its management of the House of Assembly funds. 4. Gross abuse of office and privileges as Speaker of the House of Assembly, via authoritarian and undemocratic leadership style. 5. The erosion of trust among honorable members due to ethical practices and inability to carry the majority of members' assembly are non-judicial. Result that the Speaker of the Lagos State Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, will be removed as Speaker of this Lagos State House of Assembly. I so move. Who is the Honorable Aro?
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues. This morning I rise this afternoon to second the motion of the mover of Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, as the Lagos State House of Assembly. Ably moved by Honorable Femi Said. I so second it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Of the House felt they've had enough of the Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, and today we have unanimously agreed that Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda Lasbat become the new Speaker of the House. So it was a resolution concurred to by all members of the Parliament, and so be it. And Honorable Fatai Mojid Adebola, as the Deputy Speaker Speaker of the House of Assembly. And as we speak, all the principal position has been dissolved and all the standing committee has been dissolved. So the House, as you can see, we have resolved to work together and ensure that we move the Parliament to the next level. Of the House felt they've had enough of the Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, and today we have unanimously agreed that Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda Laspat become the new Speaker of the House. So it was a resolution concurred to by all members of the Parliament, and so be it. And Honorable Fatai Mojid Adebola as the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. And as we speak, all the principal position has been dissolved and all the standing committee has been dissolved. So the House, as you can see, we have resolved to work together and ensure that we move the Parliament to the next level.
To brief them about what happened at the House of Assembly yesterday, to seek their blessing, and which we have gotten. Thank you so very much.
When your whole world comes crashing down, please look up. Assemble the team. Brains, wake it up.
What'd you have for breakfast? We are the sound of Lagos, and this is Mainland 98.3 FM.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
That was long, but absolutely worth it. Wow, we played you 4 sound bites, and we started off from the speech of the impeached Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. That's Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa. And that speech was actually at the budget appropriation presentation last year, December, by the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, on the floor of the Lagos State House of Assembly. And of course, words got in, and then Honorable Obasa used that platform to quell some rumors in respect to his mandate or his ambition. And a lot of people have said, hey man, that was one of the things that actually cost him his position. But I'm sure my guest on the show today would help us understand some of these things. And the next sound bite we played was Honorable Said Femi from Irekodun State Constituency State Constituency 2 moved the motion for the removal of the Speaker. And the next we played was from Honorable Abiodun Tobun from Ekpe Constituency 1, addressing the press immediately after the impeachment of the former Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. And the last was the voice of the first female Speaker that the Lagos State House of Assembly has produced, talking about Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda. So we had 4 back to back. It says God. Let me bring up my guest here, Mr. Hassan Bashiru. You've listened to all of the sound bites we played. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together and talk to us. When you heard of the impeachment of Right Honorable Obasa on Monday, how did you take it, and did you see it coming?
Well, interestingly, I won't say I see it coming, but it is what I think is in the right direction. You understand? When I see it coming, now because of the political space that we find ourselves, especially for privilege that have privileges to get some certain information, might see it coming. But for me, on the literal meaning of saying it coming, I didn't see it coming, but it's something I think is in the right direction, because when you look at it, it's a bottom. This is one of the hands of government that is very sensitive. We are talking about the hand of government. The hand whereby its major, its primary assignment is to do what? Is to legislate, to make law, amend laws, and this kind of hand have a situation whereby you are going somebody that's been proclaimed to have this what we call abuse of power, misconduct, and all that. So if these steps are not being taken, they are not going to see those people in the right light. So basically, for me, it's a welcome development, and anyhow anybody wants to see it, it's a function that's been activated because one of the functions of our legislator is to impeach, and there are reasons why you can impeach people. It can be because of misconduct, financial confession, name it. So basically, it is healthy for our democracy to experience this and all that. Every other thing we might not be able to rescue, but what we know for sure is the impeachment is part of their function, and activating it is something that is being welcome for any progressive movement. And for Lagos state politics, it is good because we have instances where people believe it's more like a one-party system, the only opposition is the party, some Labour Party, and all that. So basically, if this kind of thing starts happening, it makes a whole lot of sense, So for me, it's also a signal, to every other person in that house. People coming in, people that are in there, people representing their people to understand one thing is you might always think you get away with some certain things, but when you are there, you have to pay for it, It's a resolution of public trust. Let me just put it that way. It's a resolution of public trust. And to me, it's a record.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Hassan. Let me come here with this question now. Some persons have said that speech of the former Speaker of the House, right, Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, when he gave a very lengthy presentation, was the last straw that broke the back of the camel. And some persons have questioned ambition, his ambition, and which is, going for the position of the governor of Lagos State. Now, do you think that from that particular presentation he did on that fateful day, it's different from the blueprint of Lagos State? Now, let me put it better. Here's what I mean.
Okay.
By coming out to declare his intention directly or indirectly, was it a situation of he was more or less working in silo, totally different from what the Lagos State, the hierarchy of Lagos State had in mind towards the 2027 general election?
Okay. All right. I understand your question, but I want to start on this note that whatever I'm saying is my own perception of it.
Of course, I will respect that.
So I like to make that very clear, especially for myself. But basically, there are some certain things that we should understand. In the public space, that is what is open to the general public. So they are saying that is what is breaking the back of the camel. In the public space, that is it. But what we should understand is there are been some certain things going on the ground that were not spiritual. Most times Africa have their own executive section, they have a bit of oversight, you have leadership meetings and all that. Basically, some other things might have played out. But now, speaking to that is in the process, if you listen to it fairly with open mind and all that, there is a theme of ego in those statements. You want to agree? There's a certain tone of being toxic with power when it comes to some of these lines. And apparently, it's sad that if he is even reading such speech, that simply means he has a speech, it is not a thing that is not being prepared. So for me, if you want to have 1+1, sometimes you can speak out of action, probably maybe out of impulse. But now, you have a prepared speech, making some kind of references. It shows.
So, like you already had the day planned out.
Yeah. So if you are saying that in the public space, I think bringing out some. At that moment, you have a serious business. It's a business of appropriation. A budget is being presented. We are here to look at how to map out a greater Lagos of 2025. So if you are not coming with some of those speeches and all that, it shows. The policy is 2027 in 24 hours is too long.
It's a lot in politics. True.
So if you are looking at 2027 and you are trying to come, there was a time I had the conversation along with. I tell people that time for governance is for governance. This period we are meant to be in the period of governance. If there are people that are meant to be playing a bit of politics, should be those in the third level. I'm talking about those in the local government and all that. Probably the election is coming soon and all that. But basically, for now, I won't expect such from anybody who will understand what governance is all about. That aside, and the truth is this: the speech might make people need some kind of confidence in you, and some things that might be they are actually overlooking before. They might just use the opportunity to make it like a wake up call to say, this man is doing this financial stuff, he's not saying anything, you know. And I tell people that if somebody there's limit to sorry. Once sorry and apology becomes too much, it's going to be a problem. So that is my own perception, you know, on that. And second, people trying to color it out Mr. Governor, I will say that is totally out of it. Number one, Mr. Governor is not coming back for the election. So whosoever is coming to run with is not having a problem with our government. And for the Labour State that we know, it has always been little place where the incumbent governor will be the one determining who is going to succeed in. And I, on this note, I want to really appreciate the maturity of the government, because in some cases, the budget appropriation, the day it came to present the appropriation, and we had such speech from the impeached speaker, you know, some other government might have reacted otherwise, but it let it slide and so basically we need to look in between the lines, and we need to understand the fact that no matter how it is, people want to make references to certain things. But what I know is, if those other members would notice that there is a proper misconduct and is going to impeach, I think it's so easy for the good.
Okay. Honorable Hassan, before we let you go, if you listen to what Honorable Said Femi said, the member from Irepodu constituency 2 that moved the motion of that impeachment, he listed some very weighty allegations. He talked about gross misconduct. He talked about inciting members against each other. He talked about disrespect. He talked about high-handedness. These are grave allegations against the leadership of the House. And in respect to that, all of the principal officers were also removed. All the standing committees, statutory oversight, all of them were also dissolved. The unanimity of this endorsement, what does it tell you about the Lagos State House of Assembly? The fact that all the years, the chorus of the years was so loud that even if there was any nail on the floor of the house that day, I doubt if the nail will be heard. What does that tell you about the House of Assembly? Is this about monarchical nature of one person getting who gets what, or is the assembly being in order by itself?
I have to smile because I listened to Otumba that championed the alternative stuff a bit, and he said something that I'm so in love with, and it's the message I actually passed to the press, and the other message about how long do we have to complain, about our country and all that. And sometimes I'm always a fan of constructive criticism, and basically, so no matter how it is, we like looking at things from the loopholes, trying to find faults, basically, and all that. But what I'm going to say, I'm saying what he did is very, very important. We need to understand our proper evaluation when it comes to societal information. You asked a very good question, but you omitted the fact that before he was impeached, when the motion was raised, it is not all the members. I come again. It is not all the members that supported the motion. You didn't make mention of that part. You understand? So now, when it comes to the issue of unanimously, when Honorable Togo from the first consent won, he carefully that majority, you understand, So now let me now come back to where I'm driving at to. In the process of the house, whether you have a closed door section to choose a particular leadership. Once the leadership is being chosen like the speaker and the deputy speaker, over time they'll see how to choose the next principal officer. It's not out of place if the speaker was impeached. And the speaker was, it is the speaker that actually sat down with the other stakeholders in the house and others to appoint and to place different principal officers and to work out the committee. But now they are having the first female speaker and the deputy speaker as it should be. So subsequently there will be meeting where they will now announce the other principal officer. They will start setting up committees. Now, what I'm getting at, even if in the process of choosing the present speaker, it is not all of them that is aligned with it. The moment they have agreed to choose that speaker, it is something that is binding on all of them, and they can easily say unanimously this has been done. But in the process of negotiation, in the process of trying to do this, there will have been this back and forth and all that, which will not come to the public space. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
Now,
going back to what you are saying about people keep saying rubber stamping. That is the reason why I'm saying that the impeachment of the speaker is another way of building the public trust. It's a restoration of public trust in our legislative system. Whether we believe it is being accepted by some certain people and all that, but at least it is procedural. And what we have done is within the Constitution. Do you understand that part?
Okay.
Now let me now also add to this part of it is that people don't understand that in the House today we have one member from the Labour Party.
Sure.
And in the House, you always have those people who are the kicker people who belong to this caucus and all that. Legislative, when it comes to the House, is beyond just belonging to a particular party. It has to do with your capacity, it has to do with your relationship, and it has to do with your understanding of the functions in the House. There are some people that are so good with function of oversight, some are so good in understanding and establishing laws and all that. Depending on the experience you are bringing to the House, will determine your contribution and how important you will be in that particular House. That's my own. But for me, the issue of overstanding is not what I see. But rather than I want our people to be more engaged. Engage your honorable member. Engage them. It's one of their functions. So they can start moving motion and working on appeals for you guys. And that is my own submission on this.
All right, thank you very much. I like the fact that you're saying that it is to build public trust. But in summary, because we need to also hear from the other side what our listeners have to say. When you look at the new Speaker of the House, the first female Speaker, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda, of course you can see that she has served at various legislative roles, including chairing committees and serving as the chief whip before becoming, the Speaker of the House.
Speaker. She was actually the Deputy Speaker to Obasa.
So when you look at her position, you look at her qualifications, you look at her years of service, what are you expecting from her?
You didn't have her age. She's still young.
Of course, yes.
And this is her third term in the House, by the way.
She was actually born in August 1980, so she's very, very young.
So when you look at that, she came in there when her brain she's still very fresh. She took time to understand the system. It's a different thing from what we expect. It's a different thing, what we get. But I will just, with the way it is, with what we read about her, what I know about her, I think she's positioned to do well. It's not about having the place of fire. It's not about making people worship you as I do. It's about knowing what the office is meant for and understanding the fact that Lagosian expects more
from her,
more and more expected from her. So, and she needs to also work on the fact that we've always been clamoring for having women, ladies in power. Now she's there. Let's argue that for this also self and let people know that females can do better and we'll be happy to, experience, to have a good experience with the first female Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
All right. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Mr. Hassan Bashiru, our senior legislative aide at the National Assembly, for joining us in on Midweek Politics today. Thank you very much. We'll keep in touch with you, and it looks like we may get to do this very often, not only when the speaker is impeached, by the way. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long conversation today, Victor.
Yes.
We've had 2 guests. The first time we're having multiple guests on the show. And we've also had a mix of different sound bites. I mean, that's what the people should expect on the show today. We played you 4 sound bites. And all of that had to do with the issue of the impeachment of Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, member representing Agege constituency in the Lagos State House of Assembly, and he's been the speaker for 2 terms. This is his 3rd term as a speaker. He served as the speaker under the administration of former Governor Akinwumi Ambode, also served as the speaker under the first 4 years of the current governor Olusola Sanwo-Olu, and also the 2nd term of Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu as well. But like they'd always say, eras come, eras go, soldier come. The barracks would always remain. The Lagos House of Assembly is in safe hands of the first female speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda. You've heard about her profile, quite interesting. She was elected to the floor of the House in 2015, re-elected in 2019, also re-elected again, and being the chief whip, former deputy speaker, now the speaker. She's from the royal family from both sides, her father and mother. I mean, there's just a lot about her. Pretty intense. And one thing I find unique about her is that it's on record that rather than reintroducing new bills, she's been focused on rebranding and representing outdated bills on the floor of the house. And she's done a lot of projects in schools, healthcare center. Got a bit late. Keep it coming. 09136000410. At facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. On YouTube /mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Midweek Politics.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Patrick Okoro.
Okay, Mr. Okoro, good to have you on the show today.
Yeah, bear it in your mind, this particular speaker that you people are producing, promoting. Remember Patricia Ite. I hope you remember. You remember her?
That the first female and the only House of Reps speaker.
Yes. You know how she disgraced herself out of office.
Okay, so we all do.
Now, Obasa have come out. They have removed him according to the word they use there. So, but he can still resume. As a floor member, which is good one, he can still receive his salary and maintain. You understand? But I'm still saying, as I said yesterday, this goalpost should be shifted. All the Godfatherism in this Lagos State. We are not okay with it. I'm not Lagosian, but we have to shoot aside out of this. If we should stop promoting this. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Mr. Patrick Okoro. I'm trying to understand what you mean by we should stop promoting this. We only reporting, and our guest analyzed what happened on the floor of the House on the 13th of January 2025. The impeachment of the former speaker and the swearing of a new speaker. That was exactly what we've done on the show. Nothing more.
It's politics.
Pure politics. Yes. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, quickly. Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
Yes, I'm Ajimele. I'm Richie from Apapa.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I'm so surprised. Ever since this coach arose, I've imagined the way people have been deliberating on this issue. Even you, the media personnel. I'm even disappointed with your colleague, Said Fawad, the respected OAP that I love so much. The way he analyzed this issue. Okay, let me ask you. The allegation mentioned on this young man, you guys focus on it. As Nigeria Lagosians focus on the allegation they laid on the man, rather, we are all deliberating on how he was impeached as the person that takes charge over it. Is that the issue? Why didn't we focus on the allegation mentioned on him? You see, the problem with Nigeria, especially you educated people, you will not focus on the particular issue. Rather, we will be deliberating on something that no hold water. You see this man that claimed his own Lagos. I keep asking myself, who did he think he is? Which statement does Mr. Obasa say that will warrant his impeachment? And the funny part is that everybody were just focusing, analyzing something that does not hold water. We all know the reason why he was impeached. Does it mean that as grown as Obasa is, it cannot like as in state whatsoever thing is opting for? Is he a
So can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay. It's fine. Allegations of gross misconduct, allegations of misappropriation, high-handedness, inciting members against each other. There are authorities and agencies, there are even committees on the floor of the house that are supposed to investigate all of those allegations. I'm coming. It is not my duty here to investigate those allegations. I'm only going to pick on what the house members that carried out the impeachment said. It is not my job to investigate misappropriation. Those are allegations.
Let me talk.
Okay, go on.
That is the duty of you media. Nigerian media are so lazy. When this issue arose,
I respect your opinion, but I'm not going to allow you insult me and my colleagues on this show. You can't tell me people are lazy. Listen. Okay.
You guys are lazy.
Okay. I've always respected everyone that joins any of my spaces, my platforms, my shows, and I've always felt like, yes, the way I respect you and your opinion, you should also respect the sanctity of the job that myself and my colleagues everywhere in the world are doing. It is not my job to investigate financial misappropriation alleged against the Speaker of Assembly that was impeached. It is not for me to investigate how the Speaker was inciting members against each other. There are committees on the floor of their ethics and privileges committees that are saddled with the responsibility of investigating those allegations. And if there are criminal allegations, there are anti-graft agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of investigating those allegations. We wait for whatever it is they want to do.
When those information are within the public space,
we make it open.
Then we can have such
That's our job.
So
hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Mr. James from Everett.
Okay, Mr. James, can you be a bit audible? I can barely hear you.
Sorry, I have a crack in my.
Okay, let's go. We'll manage it. Let's go on.
So I heard everything you were thinking about. You see, this country belongs to everybody. And in a situation where some people believe they are there or they own me, let me just tell you one simple.
Mr. James, we're struggling to hear you. Your voice and the network were really struggling. Victor, we'll pick a couple of more calls. Then you certainly would help us with some messages on Facebook. Hello, good afternoon, Mr. George.
Good afternoon,
you're welcome.
I greet your colleague in the studio as well. My name is Lɪධᴇ.
Good to have you.
Like I always said, you see, majority of us who call on radio to criticize our leaders, we are worse than them. Those who are leading us are not from heaven. They are not from Ghana. They are Nigerian like us. When an analyst analyze and it fits us, we go to the whole world and say you are the best analyst in the whole world. The moment you don't share our idea, while I doing it, just keep doing your job. I don't know about that from anywhere. I don't know the new speaker from anywhere. But I pray they give us, take us to where we are supposed to be. Maybe if there is division between them, they will do the right thing for us to do. But that has been there for over 12 years. So, let him go and sit down. One thing is, if you want to talk anywhere, just be careful of what you say. And you know, just be careful of what you say.
Thank you.
So I think we use against you another time.
Thank you, Mr. Laiwola. One more call, then Victor will take us to Facebook. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Mainland FM. Is that Mr. Gege Joshua?
Yeah, Yeah, good
Okay.
afternoon.
You're welcome.
Mr. V, I salute you.
Okay. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. Well, you people sometimes you criticize politicians. Let people criticize everything and just feel it. I wish Ogafa was in the studio to defend.
Thank God he's not here. Thank God he's not here.
It's easy to criticize. Though. That same person, now when you criticize him, you see, you feel it. It's like that sometimes. My issue is the interview of the news speaker. The way she was too brief. Of course, I expect as a news speaker, talk to the people, talk to Lagosians and even the residents. But she was too quick to end his short interview. I don't want to judge him based on that. At least we remember a nominee in this country who said, "I feel like a tiger, I feel like a lion." Up to now, he has not killed one animal.
The claw of the lion, they don't fight the claw.
He has not killed one animal since. So I hope our whole case is not like that. You have refused to, address us. Of course, I expect by now we also have been granted one press conference. Let people engage in. But it is where I wish Lagos were. I wish Lagos. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victor.
Right. Yeah.
We'll have loads of messages on Facebook.
We do.
And you'll have to take as much as you can. There would also. Let's talk to Barrister Peter Oko. Victor, apologies, please. Let's do this in 1 minute. Barrister Peter Oko, you're welcome. 1 minute.
Okay. God bless you.
And you too.
Yeah. Barrister Peter Oko from Maryland here. I just listened to some of the issues you treated this afternoon, and I'm impressed, especially by the way the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly was removed. It is an example of how democracy should work, because politics is like international relations. There is no permanent friend and there is no permanent enemy, but permanent interest. And if you ask me, I will tell you that the process of removing him is in line with the interest of the people, because that is what matters, And when a politician seems maybe he's not playing, he's not the game to behave like he's not a team player, then it's time to push him aside, because the interest of the people is paramount, So I congratulate both the news speaker and the one that was removed, because your Basan's name has become synonymous with Lagos State Assembly. In fact, I forgot that he can be removed. So I congratulate Lagos State for being a pace setter in that regard.
Thank you.
I'm happy. I'm in Lagos when this type of thing happens.
Thank you.
Because yes.
Thank you, Barrister Peter. I would have to take you. We are really pressed for time, Victor.
Okay.
Messages on Facebook.
Sunday Noah is saying, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Ask your guests why PDP is highly in disarray and segmented. Why are the leaders in the opposition parties fighting themselves because of power tussle? What are the internal peace mechanisms they are putting in place to resolve the feud?" I think it was actually, referring to the first conversation we had there. Now, this one is coming from Unwood Austin, and Unwood Austin is saying PDP members in National Assembly are not different from the APC or from the APC counterparts. PDP governors are not doing something different from the APC governors. Sᴏᴜᴜ should decamp to APC arrests. All right, Austin, thank you for that. This one is coming from Benjamin Isse, and Benjamin Isse is saying, "Good afternoon, Okpayemi and Victor. God bless you all. How I wish power can change hands in Lagos State by 2027 election, as is happening in other states, so that we can compare as it happened in 2015 when power changed and from PDP to APC. Today, Nigerian can compare. To me, we have not seen security issues being addressed as expected of this country. The way the northern leaders address the issues of politics, if they do same to security, to insecurity, we will not be where we are today. As far as insecurity is concerned, look at how tax reform bill is being given serious attention to by the northern leaders. Why not same to insecurity? It is unfortunate that Nigeria politicians are focusing on 2027 election in 2025 in the mix of hardship, or in the midst of hardship, hunger, high level of insecurity, leading to high numbers of death on daily basis. Is it how it will continue? It is unfortunate. Benjamin from Shogunle, thank you very much. John Bernard, he dropped this one and says, good afternoon, Okoyemi and Victor. Please correct me if I made a mistake. Was it not your Tumba Shegu that was telling Daniel Bwala to keep space for him in APC that is coming to join him? Well, that's a question. I'm pretty sure Tumba will respond to that. John Bernard, said, dropped another one, and it's a very short one. Okay, this is John Bernard Ohi. Okay, I think he dropped a message before. Okay, I've taken that one. Kabiru Adigbenro says, good afternoon, Mr. Kwayemi and Mr. Victor. Nigerians should take next election serious in 2027 to vote quality candidates to different positions so that we can enjoy dividends of democracy in Nigeria. God bless my country, Nigeria. Wasiu Lawa says, good afternoon, Mr. Kwayemi. Mr. Shegun is amazing. He's an amazing person. Can your Fuad learn how to criticize governments from point of view of this man, not your colleague that can't even see anything good in government and even said he doesn't expect anything good from government? Brown envelope. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that, your message, but I don't think there was any time that any colleague has actually made that statement. All right, so thank you very much all the same. All right, James Nkwachi Ogbonna is saying, gentlemen in the studio, I greet you professionally. I feel incomplete without Mr. Forward, with you guys there. Where is he for the alternative movement by Mr. Shumi? I dare say that we don't need any old politicians in power in 2027. Let them play advisory roles to fresh politicians that will be coming in. They have all failed the Nigerian state, but old politicians like former President Goodluck Jonathan is still much needed. For former Speaker Obasa, he must be licking his wounds now. You don't dare the powers that be in Lagos, at least for now, until its operation of leaders pass away. Now, but my question is, did Mrs. Mojishola really go to the GAC to seek their blessings, or to thank them for role they played in our emergence as speaker? Because saying the speaker is sent there, or saying she was sent there to seek their blessings, will make it look as if she's not aware that the GAC was highly instrumental to her becoming speaker. That is James Ogbonna from Oshodi. Thank you very much, James Ogbonna from Oshodi. Okay, I leave it to you now.
Well, we're pressed for time. Let me see if I can squeeze in one more call. Oh, this person kept us on hold. Unfortunately, we would have been able to pick your call, but it's been an amazing session on the show today. I think this has to be one of the hottest we've had in a very long time.
Yeah, somebody said that at least politicians have been criticized.
Yeah,
so
we kind of
be criticized as well.
No, kind of like saw it coming though. Maybe that's why we told Side Far to stay with and let us handle today. But of course, that was obviously because we had quite a lot of guests that I would have to attend to. Let me squeeze in a couple of messages here. This one says, my name is Chris. I'm texting from Satellite Town, Abule Ado. Please, I need an honorable speaker to act as a good leader by doing what is right in our constituency. No road, no water. Criminals do trooping from Satellite Town. Okay, thank you very much. With respect to Obasa's removal, I've come to the conclusion that the country is now APC Nigeria Limited, and it will soon transcend to one particular family, Nigeria Limited. Not holding brief for him, but if truly Obasa embezzled. Why is it coming now that the succession battle is brewing? I consider this an absolute Agbero politics for Begranwedu. It's unfortunate what this country has descended into. Chike from Akute. Okay, this one says I prefer. Okay, you've taken this one already. I really appreciate the great. Okay, we've also taken this one. All of these messages on Facebook. Very good. Mudashiru was impeached. He's no more Speaker of Lagos House of Assembly. He really promoted politics and hate and tribal sentiment. What came on should serve as a lesson to similar politicians who refuse to understand that power belongs to God. As Prince from Ojo. Victor, thank you so much for being a part of the production today as usual. And of course, thank you, Honorable Otumba Segun Sowunmi, the former PDP gubernatorial aspirant on the platform of PDPS in Ogun State in 2023, and also the convener of the alternative. Yes, he says it's the alternative that the PDP are looking for. Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you so much for Honorable Hazan for also joining us to shed more light on the drama that happened on the floor of the Lagos House of Assembly on Monday, the 13th day of January 2025. Today is Wednesday. It means this program returns next week Wednesday, same station, Mainland FM, same time, 1 to 3 p.m. But of course, next up is the Boss Request Wednesday with J. Don and BB. And by 4 o'clock, there's going to be the Situation Room with Sage Babalola. 5:30, the Sunset News. 6 o'clock, there's going to be Sports Cruise Wednesday. Today is Ladies Night, 7 to 9 p.m. We've got all of those and more for you on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Okpayemi.